about that now that we'll get to. But first, to give you a sense of the denial that we saw for Trump before the most recent reporting on this.
I think Elon wouldn't do it. I think he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't want to put himself in that position. But if you read what's out of the New York Times, it's such a dishonest newspaper. It's such garbage. It's, it used to be called all the news that's fit to print. Well, it's all the news that's not fit to print. They have fake sources, or they don't have sources. I think they make most of it up. But this was a made-up story by the New York Times. I call it the failing. It's a failing newspaper. It's failing. And they shouldn't do that. They really are the enemy of the people.
And something else I don't know.
Now, while he acted like this was completely made up, in reality, behind the scenes, he found out that this got released to the New York Times. We have Pentagon officials being escorted out for supposedly leaking this to the New York Times of the Pentagon, and Trump privately losing it at Elon and the idea of him being at this meeting and saying, keep him out of it. The Axios reports beyond tariffs and court battles over Trump policies, two pieces of White House palace intrigue emerged Tuesday. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth suspended two top Pentagon officials, Dan Caldwell and Darren Selnick, as part of an investigation into who leaked word of a planned top secret briefing on China for Elon Musk. Axios learned that Musk or Hegseth didn't just decide to call off that briefing after the leak. In reality, President Trump himself ordered staffers to kill it. What the F is Elon doing there? Says Trump. But he didn't say F, he said the real word. Make sure he doesn't go, Trump said, a top official recalled to Axios. Musk has annoyed several administration officials with his constant presence at the White House, his haphazard social media posts, and his slash and burn tactics at his Department of Government Efficiency. No word on if the Trump administration officials have any thoughts on his legion of secret babies, as we'll talk about later in today's show. Pretty wild little note about him. That man has been getting it on. The planned Pentagon briefing, however, got him cross with the boss at the Resolute desk. POTUS still very much loves Elon, but there are some red lines. Elon has a lot of business in China. He has good relations there, and this briefing just wasn't the right thing. And it goes on to talk about how Trump called this fake news. But in reality, he had to snap at Elon and his own officials saying, why the heck is he scheduled to be a part of this? And that's the thing. There's just no connection to truth. Instead of Trump going, yes, I learned that that was a plan, I wasn't aware of it, and I've called it off, which would be honest. Instead, he says it's a complete fabrication from a failing newspaper that doesn't even have sources. They just make them up. Now, that reporting about sort of the logistics chaos, where if this weren't reported by the New York Times, it's very reasonable to assume that Elon would have gotten this top secret briefing about China war, sort of, I say plans not because we're going to war with them, but forecasted plans if things came to that. Well, that is layered on top of total chaos within the ranks of the government, where now there's a bombshell whistleblower alleging something pretty chilling. Let's get to that now. Reuters reports a whistleblower complaint says that billionaire Elon Musk's team of technologists. Actually, before we continue that, going back to this, the whole Pentagon officials being fired, put on leave, and then walked out of the Pentagon, that also is quite the contradiction. No one leaked that because it's fake, but whoever leaked it, we're going to punish. The New York Times made this up. They don't have any sources, but also we found the sources and we're going to walk them out of it. Okay, pick one. All right, back to this. A whistleblower complaint says that billionaire Elon Musk's team of technologists may have been responsible for a significant cybersecurity breach, likely of sensitive case files at America's federal labor watchdog. And we will look at the whistleblower himself explain some of the concerning components of this, which is that he came across in his work at the National Labor Relations Board this huge extraction of data by Doge. And then a particularly concerning point here is that at least this whistleblower, Daniel Barilis, what he's alleging is that IP addresses in Russia were using the Doge username and passwords correctly. Luckily, they blocked those from being accessed because of the origin of the attempted access, but they had the correct username and passwords of these Doge employees to